Hello fam, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. So today we're going to do a quick macaroni and cheese dish. So I'll give you my recipe on how I do my macaroni and cheese, and we're going to roll from there. So stand by. We're going to get started. Okay, so moving right along with our mac and cheese. You can see my ingredients here. We've got some elbow macaroni. Like I say, this time I'm doing a gluten-free. It's an experiment. Generally, I just use your general elbow macaroni. But so we have our noodles here. We've got salt, black pepper, eggs, milk, and I like to mix my cheese up, so I use a variety. Old school, Mom used to use the Cracker Barrel Sharp, but for some reason I'm not a big fan of that anymore. So you can see I've got some mild cheddar, I've got some Gouda. I found this mac and cheese blend, and it's got a mix of different type cheeses. It's got Gouda, sharp cheddar, and Asiago also. And I also hit it with a little mozzarella and provolone mix. And with that, we're going to get started. So the first thing we want to do, basically get your noodles, get those in the pot with the water. Put a little salt in there so it doesn't stick too much to the bottom. Get that boiled. Just follow the instructions on the back of the box that you have, whichever brand you use, and just follow that instructions. We're going to boil our noodles and just strain them or drain them, and then we're just going to come back and put this together. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So we've got our pasta here that's been boiled and strained out there. The strainer with that drain, right? We're gonna mix it in our little bowl here so we can see what we're doing. I kind of like to season my macaroni before I add the cheese or anything to it, so I can see it pretty much what I'm putting in there, right? And then too, also remember you go easy on the salt, because your cheese have a certain amount of salt content in it, and so you don't want to overdo that. Okay, put a little seasoning on it. First thing I like to do is start going in with my cheese. Let me cut this bag open. That way you get your cheese in kind of on the front end there, and it will allow you to kind of gauge how much of the milk and egg that you have to add to it. Be mindful now, a lot of that, or most of that, depends on how much cheese you kind of like in your macaroni. I'm a guy that kind of likes mine cheesy, goes after the name macaroni and cheese, but some people don't like a lot of cheese, so there again, this is left up for taste and your preference on how much cheese you kind of like in your macaroni. But like I said, I kind of like a lot of cheese, and that's why I go with a mixture. And this is what you're seeing right now, right? So we've got that cheddar in, we've got the mozzarella and some provolone in. Now we're coming back with this macaroni and cheese blend, mac and cheese blend that I found in the store. It's not bad. It's okay. If you can't find that, like I said, I stick with, I just go with straight mild cheddar. And so we want to get this in right there. Kind of get at a stir to see what we got here so far, right? And you see it's, when you got that cheese in there like that, it's not easy to mix up. That's why I remember doing this with my mom as a kid, right? And I would be standing there with the milk carton, and she would say, okay, pour. And I was scared to pour it in, and she's like, pour more, because you want it kind of thin to where you should be able to easily mix this up. All right here is I'm gonna go in and add my 2 eggs into this, right? That's gonna loosen it up some, but it's not gonna be enough, right? So we get this mixed up. See there? It's still thick. It's hard to kind of turn over. So there, to make that easy and to get this right, I'm gonna go and add some milk, right? See how that loosens it up? Still could add a little more. Like I say, it's not a measuring thing on this, because it depends on the amount of noodles you have, one, and two, the amount of cheese that you add to it. So that's why, like I say, you have to go from and you want it to be so you can kind of mix it easily. If it's a little bit liquidy, that's okay, because once it starts to bake, that's going to evaporate, right? So you want it kind of loose there, like I say, so you can easily mix this and stir this, right? So I'm gonna add a little more of this macaroni and cheese blend cheese into it, right? A couple of sprinkles of that. Also, this cheddar. So unfortunately, I could not find any shredded Gouda this time in the store. So there again, when you can't find exactly what you're looking for, it's like when I was working overseas in Africa and I couldn't find, just say for instance, cream of mushroom soup or something like that. You have to improvise and overcome. You start checking out the web and finding recipes, and you get to the point to where you make your own homemade version of it, right? So here we go. Like I said, it wasn't shredded, so we're gonna just kind of tear this apart, drop it in there to get that Gouda flavor also mixed in. And believe it or not, folks, that's pretty much how you make a macaroni and cheese. From here, what we're gonna do, get all this mixed up together. We got our oven on 350. It's preheated to 350 already. And so the only thing we've got to do is get this mixed up well, put it in our casserole dish over here, put it in the oven. It's probably gonna be, I would say 35 to 45 minutes. We'll see when we get there. I'll let you know how long I left it in, okay? That's not a big deal. Main thing is getting all of your ingredients in the right mixture, get it mixed up, right? Okay, you can see how easy this is to stir. Actually, this is getting a little thick on me, so what I'm gonna do is thin it out a little bit. I think that ought to do it. Get that mixed up real well, right? All right. So I think with that, we are good to go. So now it's a matter of getting this in our casserole dish and getting this in the oven. Get this stuff out of the way. As we're finished with all of this, right? Get this back in the fridge. Oops, missed one. That's all right. It'll be okay. So what we're gonna do here, we've got our casserole dish already here, cleaned out, ready to go, right? You can see it's got some liquid there in the bottom, which is, like I say, it's okay, don't worry about that. It is going to evaporate in the baking process. When you put this in the oven, I recommend covering it up for the first, while it's cooking, because if not, your top is going to brown on you, and not unless you like a brown top covering on your macaroni and cheese. You want to keep that covered. If you don't have a top for your dish, I would recommend using aluminum foil. It works just as well too. But yeah, we're good to go here. We're good to go, right? Just mixed around in there, get everything covered up. So you've got coverage and cheese on everything, right? Get that off of the spoon. Spoon it around. Okay, fam, we good to go. There you go. homemade macaroni and cheese. We're not doing no box stuff, right? 350, it's going in the oven. We'll come back and check on that, like I said, in about 35 to 40 minutes and show you what we're working with. We'll be back. Okay, guys, so it's been about, I would say, I think I went with about 40 minutes on the cook time on this macaroni and cheese. And like I said, I don't care for the browning. You can see a little browning of the cheese on the sides here, but this is pretty much where I like mine to be. And there again, if you want the darker thing, yeah, you just take the top, because I cooked it for 30 minutes with the top on, and the last 10 minutes I took the top off to let that finish off, right? So you guys can see, voila, homemade macaroni and cheese.